Hello everyone! So I have a layout today for Cut to You. We're going to start with a little bit of mixed media. So I'm going to do this super simply. This is hot press watercolor paper, and I just have my Kiritaki watercolors. I'm going to do a wet on a wet technique, and I'm going to create a watercolored blue background. I'm just going to get the watercolor on there, and then to provide a little more texture, I'm going to add a little more water. And then I'm also going to grab a roll of paper towels, and I'm going to run that roll of paper towels right over the top. This provides just a bit of texture. It makes it look more like a sky, which is what I want. So these are the cut files I'm going to use for this layout today. These are two brand new cut files from the shop this month. That orchid is like so gorgeous. And then the title is cute too. I'm going to use the Pinkfir Studio and Altenew collaboration collection, which is called Celebrate. It's so pretty and I really, really love it. You know, guys, how I shy away from Pinkfir Studio, but they knocked it out of the park when they collaborated with Altenew, which is one of my very favorite companies. So this is cool. I'm going to go through the 6x6 paper pad, and I'm going to pick some patterns out that I really, really like and want to use. And then I'm also going to grab some green and black cardstock from my stash to do the leaves and the insides of the orchids. So our background is dry, and I've backed all of the cut files. You can see how gorgeous this is. And I put some white acrylic paint on it, thinking that it would make it kind of look like puffy clouds, but in the end result, you don't even really see them. So totally skip that step. Don't skip this step though. So I am taking one of these long, narrow, thin picket fence life-changing brushes and some Mowed Lawn Distress ink, and I am adding shadows to the bottom leaves of this cut file. So I didn't do it, I was careful, but I wasn't overly careful. You could be very, very careful and keep the white cut file. I kind of went over the white cut file, and then I did it by accident and then decided that if I was going to do it, I should just do it and make it look intentional. So then I made it look intentional. And when the layout is finished, I don't think that it makes a huge difference whether I had done it one way or the other, but you can see here, it's just a really, really nice way to add some depth and dimension to a flat cut file. And I love, love, love how it turned out, especially in the finished layout. It really just adds a little more detail. You know, I am all about taking cut files and adding details to them, and this is a great way to do it. I'm also going to take some glossy accents, and I'm going to put glossy accents over the black parts of the iris. So now I'm just going to kind of lay everything out. Yes, the glossy accents are still wet, but I'm just trying to get a nice idea in my head of how these three elements are going to fit together. So that's my photo and my two cut files. These are the things that have to be included, that I must include in my layout. And then once I get placement for those together, then I know what I need to do next, right? So I'm going to kind of get an idea of where placement will be. And I actually end up changing it from what you see here, but that's okay. I decide that I do want to give myself a little bit of color on the right side of the page, and I'm going to do that with some nice wide washi. This is a washi tape from Altenew. So I got my kit, my Altenew and my Pinkfir Studio collaborative kit from Christina at Redefined Creative. And this is why, because when you order kits from her, she will often add little things that maybe aren't part of a collection, but that match really well. And in this case, for this collection, she added this wide washi from Altenew, which is called Watercolor Strokes, I think. So beautiful. So I'm decided that I'm going to put just a little border of that down the side. It adds so much to this layout, and in the end, I love, love, love it. Yeah, I really love that washi tape. So now everything's dry. Our glossy accents are dry, the watercolored background is dry, we can kind of start getting things placed where we want them to go. So I do end up kind of overlapping this title and nestling it in a little bit better than I did earlier, only because the glossy accents weren't dry. I decided that my photo needed a little bit of color, so I'm just gonna go ahead and back it with one of these 6x6 papers. And I'm going to move things around a little bit. I love the way this camera angle in this video turned out, I got to tell you. So I'm still kind of playing with my camera angles a bit. And so this particular video, I think, and everyone after this one turned out really good. Like I've got it down now. We're not kind of off the camera, which has been happening a little bit too much for my liking. So I'm going to place the photo right there, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start adding these adorable little die cuts. So there aren't enough flowers in the die cut pack. Are there ever enough flowers? There can never be enough flowers, I'm here to tell you. But I did grab 3 that I really liked, and since I have the orchid, which is one type of flower, and then I have these flowers from the die cut pack, which are another type of flower, I'm going to add in a 3rd type of flower, but you'll see that in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling and make sure we date the photo. Must date the photo. Always date the photo. I am learning this the hard way as I kind of go through and flip through my albums and have pages and photos with no dates. I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to kind of start getting all of this glued down. I am going to pop that title up on some foam tape, and here's where the 3rd sets of flowers come in. So these are some wood veneer flowers. These are from Color Cast Designs. They've been kind of just hanging out in my stash on my desk for a little bit, and they are the perfect addition to this layout. So they make things, they kind of warm the layout up. There's sand in my photograph, so they kind of play off the colors of the sand in the photograph. And each of my little clusters that I have going on here are going to include some of these wooden flowers. They add just that little something. So now, in my opinion, this layout looks cohesive. We have 3 different kinds of flowers, and we have the warmer tones and then the cool tones, and it looks really nice. And all the colors in the collection and in the layout really play off of all the colors that are in the photo. So I'm really, really, really happy with how this layout turned out. I think it turned out really, really pretty. So I'm gluing everything on this layout down with Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, because when you have hot press watercolor paper and you've gotten it really wet and you add watercolor, I feel like we need a little bit of something extra to get everything sticking where it needs to stick. You could use a tape runner. I feel more comfortable when I have a background that has been painted or watercolored or has any kind of media on it. I feel like it just works better when you use the Nuvo. So that's going to pretty much complete this layout. I'm going to add some of these beautiful sparkly effervescence they're like clear little bubbles from Spiegelmom Scraps. I'm going to add those into the layout here. They provide some dimension, a little something more that's not paper, but they do not provide any more color, and I think they're just the perfect addition. So here are all of the close-ups. Thank you so, so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye.